Hi, good morning. Today I'm going to talk about the theories of cognitive development. During the class, we have discussed two types of cognitive development. That is the social-cultural theory and the cognitive development theory. I'm going to start with the last one. Jean Piaget, it was a Swiss psychologist that developed the cognitive development theory. He believed that education is to help learn how to learn. So he developed four different stages. The first one is sensory motor, and this starts from newborns to age 2. During this sensory motor, children learn throughout interacting with their environment and experimenting. They can experiment by putting everything in their mouth, touching everything. They start experiment and be aware of their five senses. For the next stage is preoperational, ages 2 to 7. During this stage, language develops and children begin to understand symbols. The next one is concrete operational. It goes from age 7 to 11. During this stage, children it starts to use their imagination and think logically. And for the last one, formal operational, age 13 to adulthood, um, people, children can think hypothetically and can solve problems logically. So from this on, they're learning to start like to be more realistic. They start to understand with logical. They can use hypotheses and also abstract thinking. Cognitive development theory is also a organization. Piaget believed all human beings have the tendency to create coherent systems. There are three stages: assimilation, accommodation, and equilibrium. During assimilation, baby steps in learning when new information can fit into existing scheme. We also have accommodation, when new information is so different it forces a person to create a new scheme. And we have equilibrium. Piaget believed organizing, assimilation, and accommodation were a complex balancing act. The brain works to find how to make everything fit. And lastly, we have schema, the building block of learning. The next theory that we talk about was social cultural theory. This was created by Lev Vygotsky, a Russian psychologist. His main idea of education was to develop the development of higher mental functions. So we have the zone of proximal development, the area between what a child can understand and what a child can understand from someone with higher knowledge. It can be their parents, a teacher, or someone that has an influence with a child. We have the cultural tools, technician tools, electronic tools that help people communicate and solve problems. Technical tools such as technology, computers, tablets help students learn. We also have psychology's tools. Vygotsky or higher order mental process such as reasoning and problem solving are mediated by psychology tools. We also have the private speech, who the Vygotsky believed that verbal prompts and ideas from others eventually became private, internal speech that guides the child in problem solving and independent learning. So this is what we have learned. I totally believe in as a teacher, and I have worked in pre-K, high school, elementary, middle school. I have seen the development of each stage, and I agree with Jean Piaget of the stages of development and how students start to acquire their knowledge and experiment with their world and start building up all these schemas and blocks of learning.